Have we mastered the use of spirit in our lives? And I do mean the use of spirit in our lives. Are we using it to create our lives for the better?
Here I stand at the water's edge.
You may have to ask yourself, what is it that I need to become in order to move forward?
I had a very unusual experience, and that was that the state of terror that I had lived in suddenly dissipated, and it was replaced by a sense of peace.
If you eat the right food, you will never be hungry. If you think the right thoughts, you will never be hungry.
Because we're a little goal obsessed. And so rather than focusing on the goal in life, let's talk about the game I want to play with my life.
I am deep and I'm wild and I'm strong. I am blessed with a place to belong. And I can be counted on to always deliver.
We are a perfect, each and every one of us is a perfect individualized expression of a divine energy that is love. That's it. It's just love.
Here I stand.
That's the song.
It says that at the very top.
You get up every morning when the day is done and take the 8:15 into the city. There's no pushing, there's no shoving, everybody is a-loving and the folks are all looking pretty. Of course your train's on time and you get to work by 9. You do a super job and get your pay. You never get annoyed, just like me, you're overjoyed. You love to come from spirit all day. And we be taking care of business every day. We be taking care of business every way. We be taking care of business. We're divine, taking care of business and working overtime to work out. It's as easy as fishing. You could be practicing and you'll keep your days all kinds of mellow. Know the truth of who you are and you'll surely go far. Now you're in with the right bunch of fellows. People see you having fun just to know when you're the one. Tell them that you know it's the way. It's the law that we employ and we're all overjoyed. We love to come from spirit all day. And we be taking care of business every day. We be taking care of business every way. We be taking care of business. We're divine, taking care of business and working overtime. Work out. Taking care of business. Taking care of business. Taking care of business. Woo! Taking care of business. Hey, taking care of business. Every day we be taking care of business. Every way we be taking care of business. We're divine, taking care of business and working overtime. Taking care of business. Taking care of business. Here are the announcements. Here are the announcements.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? And good morning to everybody online. First of all, a shout out to Doug LeBeau for rewriting some of the lyrics to take it to a more positive spin, and Randy Bachman and I are both from the north end of Winnipeg. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. So thanks, Doug, for that. I'm a little bit out of breath. If you are new to us for the first time or online, in your program, sorry, people online don't have the program. Those of you here who have the program, one side is lyrics that we will be doing today. The other side is the announcements. And the one announcement I'm going to point your direction to, there's going to be a new class. I'm embracing my glasses, hold on. Helen Velo will be teaching a new class called Spiritual Fitness. Wednesdays from 7 to 9, April 15th to May 27th. Online registration will be open as of next Sunday. $60 for the entire class, $15 per drop-in. Everything else you need to know is there, or go online to our lovely new website where you'll find all the pertinent information that you need to know about us. On that note, let's enjoy and welcome and enjoy some more our spiritual director, Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Who knows what that's from? It's not from Annie. Somebody said Annie. It's from Singing in the Rain. Yes, Singing in the Rain. How is everyone this morning? Okay, well, that was convincing. Yeah. How is everyone this morning? Aren't you so happy that spring has finally arrived? Yeah. I am. Even though it's a little rainy today, you know what? March showers bring flowers at some point, maybe May, maybe April, I don't know. But I'm so grateful that we are into the warmer weather and that the days, after changing the clocks last week, the days seem longer since we have more sunlight in the afternoon. I am so grateful. I want to say welcome to anyone who is joining us for the first time. Is there anyone who's here for the first time today? Anyone? Yes, Carmen, you're here for the first time. You know what? Carmen has a point, though. We are all in our new experience of life in every moment, so we're always new wherever we are. Anyway, if you're visiting us for the first time, Jim has a card for you. That card has got a little bit of information about the center. It also gives you 10% off in the bookstore today. So please do take advantage of that. We come here every Sunday to celebrate an idea. And this year, our theme, Living Out Loud, is really taking that idea for me to a whole new level, because it is really encouraging me to step up, step out, in a more profound way than I have since I've been here, and I'm really excited about that. We're going to launch it off. So we've told you that there are song lyrics. Don't look at the song lyrics for this first song, because there was I miscommunicated with Tanis and put the wrong lyrics in, although we are doing this particular song to launch off our service today. Get up, feel free to dance. It's a good up-tempo and a new arrangement of a song that we have done in the past. Take it away, guys.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, 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 every day. Let my little light shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, 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 every day. Gonna let my little light shine.
All right, Steven.
This little light of light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine every day,
Every day.
every day,
Every day.
every day,
Every day.
every day,
Every day.
Gonna let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine every day,
Every day.
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 Gonna let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine every day,
Every day.
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 every day, every day,
Every day.
every day,
Every day.
every day,
Every day.
every day, every day. Gonna let my little light shine.
If you would please turn to page 4 of your hymn notes. How do you like that new arrangement? Isn't that awesome? That's an arrangement that Bruce Springsteen does of that song, and we saw it this week, and well, Tana saw it and was like, we have to do this. Feels so good, doesn't it? Just to get that energy up and blood pumping, and so.
She called
yes.
me Bruce all week.
Yes. Oh. So I want to say welcome to everyone who is watching us online. I trust that got your energy up and going as well. One of the things that we offer here on our Sunday is Sundays Beyond Music is wisdom and inspiration. And we have a core of practitioners and practitioner students who offer wonderful, wonderful bits of insight so you don't just have to listen to me the whole time. That was a joke. Don't have to take me so seriously. Today, offering her wonderful, wonderful brand of wisdom is a student of mine who made a decision a couple of years ago to go through practitioner study, and it has truly transformed her life, and she'll be the first to tell you that. Please welcome to the lectern, Judy Salvin.
Absolutely, it has transformed my life. You told us on the first day that we would be different, and I'm the same person, but I am so different. I think differently. And I can't think of any place I'd rather be on a Sunday morning than here. I love it, and what a grand kickstart you gave us. That's wonderful. I get very excited when it's my turn to speak, excited about the message, because what happens is we have a schedule, and our names are assigned to the schedule. And what happens to me is about 2 weeks before, I take a look at that message, and I read it over. In this case, one of the declarations of principles that we're focusing the whole service around. And I read it over about 3 or 4 times, and then I just let it settle. And what invariably happens is everything I read, everything I hear, songs I hear, or most things, are directly connected to that message. So it's kind of like seeing the same thing with new eyes and hearing with new ears. And so I get to kind of grow with that. I read Ernest Holmes, of course, every day. I read from the book, and I read the Science of Mind magazine, and I also read from Emmett Fox, the Emmett Fox Around the Year. And one of the things he talks about is suggesting that we go on a 7-day mental diet. Now, I have a Post-it note on my desk. It's been there quite a while, because I procrastinated, and it says, do this thing, go on this 2nd-day mental diet. So with the Declaration of Principles that we're talking about today, I decided now is the time to go on this mental diet. And that really is a diet of being very conscious of all of my thoughts, which I try to do anyway, but this was a deeper consciousness, seeing with new eyes and hearing with new ears. So I went off the rails on Tuesday. I had an opportunity to be really irritated and annoyed, and I fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and I paid the price. I had a horrible day. I was exhausted. I was drained, so I got back on my diet. And maybe it's a permanent mental diet. It's kind of, it's a permanent mental diet now. So in keeping with our principle today, which is all about how our thoughts are impressed upon the law of mind and the law of mind acts upon it. And I know Jonathan's going to say a lot about that, but I've got a quote from Ernest Holmes. And coincidentally enough, when I was reading my daily readings from The Science of Mind and relating it to the principle, what's the title of the chapter? The Power of Thought. 12 rich, beautiful pages. So here's a quote from that chapter. We are living in an intelligent universe which responds to our mental states. It can respond only by corresponding. Isn't that cool? What we think about comes about. Every thought becomes fact. I know this. Every thought that we have becomes fact in the law of mind. Absolute fact. It's already there. It's already done. And then we get to receive at the level of our belief. We don't tell the law what to correspond with. We allow what comes in that is very much like our thought. Maybe that's a bit scary, maybe it's a bit sobering, but I find it actually very comforting. Because the good news is we get to choose what we think. And it's very important that we do this conscious thinking. So back to the 7-day mental diet or the permanent mental diet. It's really important. And that's really what, as practitioners, we've been training ourselves to do, to think consciously. So we attract what is like our thought. So then I got thinking about what are people in the world thinking? What's the global thinking going on today? And one of the things that Emmett Fox talks about, and I've heard Jonathan say this too, that the ancients could have had the automobile, could have had cinemas, could have had everything that we have today in technology, but they weren't mentally ready, and there wasn't a need. Perhaps there wasn't a need. They had what they needed. So it was all possible because the laws of nature were the same then as they are today. And all the same materials were in the ground then as they are today, but there wasn't the need. So what are we ready for today? What are we mentally ready for today? We've got everything else. Well, I believe that we are ready for peace. All the ingredients are here, and we know the need is here. The need for peace is definitely here. So I started thinking about what's going on, and I see thoughts and acts of peace demonstrating every day in the news, along with everything else that we see, the violence, the tragedy, and everything else. Consider these three things. There's a lot going on. There's a project in Canada going on called Meet a Muslim Family. I don't know whether you've heard about it, but it's phenomenal. There was a man named Chowdhury. Lives in Woodbridge, just north of Toronto. And he and many other Muslim families are opening their homes in social gatherings and allowing non-Muslims and Muslims to meet together to get to know each other, to understand each other. Doesn't that sound like peace? Mm-hmm. That sounds like peace to me. In Norway, at a synagogue, I don't know who did the shooting, but there was a shooting. And what happened the next day, this was a couple of months ago, Jews and Muslims joined hands and formed a symbolic circle around the synagogue. That's peace speaking. That just sounds like peace to me. And then in Australia, you heard about the Cafe Lindt, where, of chocolate fame, don't mean to make light of it, a so-called Muslim extremist, or somebody who was using Islam for their own purposes, took 17 hostages and killed 2 of them. And what happened the next day was non-Muslims had this I'll Ride With You program for all the Muslims who were really afraid of going to work the next day because of the backlash that might be felt towards them from people not understanding and misunderstanding. Man, this is peace speaking. These are thoughts of peace, and they're born out of tragedy and violence. And that's how I read the news. I read the news saying, what's the good in this? I look at headlines. The Star doesn't let me read all the details because after 10 articles that I read, they say, well, we hope you've enjoyed the last 10 free articles. So I go to see who else will let me read the story. There's always ways of getting what you want. So peace is in the air. Peace is possible. And we can think peace into our lives, and we can think peace into our world. And in one of the quotes at the end, in that Power of Thought chapter, Ernest Holmes says, life externalizes at the level of our thought. So my affirmation for all of us today, to say a couple of times once you hear it, As we are all one with God's love and peace, I express love and peace to all. As we are all one with God's love and peace, I express love and peace to all. As we are all one with God's love and peace, I express love and peace to all. Peace.
Perfect.
Is it?
It is perfect.
Funny that.
Everything always works out exactly as it needs to. I'm going to let them continue to play. Normally I don't do this, but something came across my desk this week that is very much in line with what you've just talked about today, and I want to share it with everyone. And it's a treatment. It is a prayer, just to give you a heads up, and I'm not taking away your prayer.
It's fine.
But I want to read this. A prayer for world peace. I know there is but one mind, which is the mind of God, in which all people live and move and have their being. I know there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern there is infinite harmony and peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness. I know that the mind of humankind, being one with the mind of God, shall discover the method, the way, and the means best fitted to permit the flow of divine love between individuals and nations. Thus, harmony, peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness will be experienced by all. I know there shall be a free interchange of ideas, of cultures, of spiritual concepts, of ethics, of educational systems, and scientific discoveries, for all good things belong to all alike. I know that because divine mind has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect unity. In bringing about world peace, I know that all people and all nations will remain individual, but united for a common purpose of promoting peace, happiness, harmony, and prosperity. I know that deep within every person is the divine pattern of perfect peace that is already implanted. I now declare that in each person and in leaders of thought everywhere, this divine pattern moves into action and form to the end that all nations and all people shall live together in peace, harmony, and prosperity forever. So it is now. Ernest Holmes, 1950.
Holy.
There are no mistakes. That you bring that to the lectern, and that's what crossed my desk this week. Peace begins with each and every one of us, within each and every one of us, and it begins with a decision. So let's let today, let love and peace be our decision.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. But once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else
my decision right here and now.
And so I invite you all to take a breath, relax right into this moment, and allow these words that Judy is to speak just wash over you with truth and clarity.
For I know that there is only one presence that permeates each and every one of us, that operates throughout all of the world. This is a power, this is a presence, this is love, this is peace, this is forgiveness. This is all that God is. And we are one with this power, this presence, this peace. And we call it God. God, back of all creation. And peace is being created right now before our eyes, even no matter what. Regardless of appearances, peace is in the air, peace is possible. I affirm this right here and right now as we make the decision. We make our decision. I affirm our decision is one of love, one of peace, one of forgiveness, one of tolerance, one of acceptance, one of understanding. We are one. We are one with each other, and we are connected at our source. I know this is the spiritual truth of who we are on this planet, in this world. That is who we are. So in deep gratitude for peace, for love, for all the people who are showing so many acts of kindness and love and peace and tolerance. Deeply grateful for all that is unfolding in this world today. I release these words to the perfect law of mind that says yes, that responds by corresponding to our thoughts. I release it, I let it go, I let it be so. I know in full faith that we receive exactly as we believe. It is done, and together we say,
And
so it is.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. But once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Ooh, my decision.
Would you like to finish it again?
Right here and now.
Why?
Okay.
You have an emotional response to it, and that's perfectly okay. I have an emotional response to it too, and I'm glad that I get to sit down now.
Great, I get to sing.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it's a beautiful song, and I love this song. I'm grateful every time you play it. Please welcome Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band.
Woke up cold one Tuesday, looking tired and I'm feeling quite sick, and I felt like there was something missing in my day-to-day life. So I quickly opened the wardrobe, pulled out some jeans and a t-shirt that seemed clean, topped it off with a pair of old shoes that were ripped around the seams. And I thought, these shoes just don't suit me. Hey, I put some new shoes on and suddenly everything's right. I said, hey, I put some new shoes on and everybody's smiling. It's so inviting. We're short on money but long on time. running late and I don't need an excuse, 'cause I'm wearing my brand new shoes. Woke up late one Thursday, I'm seeing stars as I'm rubbing my eyes, and I felt like there were 2 days missing as I focused on the time. I made my way to the kitchen, but I had to start from the shock of what I found. A room full of all of my friends all dancing round and round. And I thought, hello, new shoes, bye-bye blues. Hey, I put some new shoes on and suddenly everything's right. I said, hey, I put some new shoes on and everybody's smiling. It's so inviting. Well, short on money but long on time. Slowly strolling in the sweet sunshine, and I'm running late and I don't need an excuse, 'cause I'm wearing my brand new shoes. Take me wandering through these streets where bright lights and angels meet. Stone to stone, they take me on. I'm walking till the break of dawn. Take me wandering through these streets where bright lights and angels meet. Stone to stone, they take me on. I'm walking till the break of dawn. Hey, I put some new shoes on and suddenly everything's right. I said, hey, I put some new shoes on and everybody's smiling. It's so inviting. Well, short on money but long on time. Slowly strolling in the sweet sunshine, and I'm running late and I don't need an excuse, 'cause I'm wearing my brand new shoes. Hey, yeah, I put some new shoes on and suddenly everything's right. Said, hey, I put some new shoes on and everybody's smiling. It's so inviting. Well, short on money but long on time. Slowly strolling in the sweet sunshine, and I'm running late and I don't need an excuse, 'cause I'm wearing my brand new shoes.
All right. Yergo Tro and the Queen Street Band. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, yes. All right, you can go have a weep in the corner now if you want. We are down to it. We are down to the nitty-gritty of this philosophy. We've been spending a majority of this year talking about the Declaration of Principles, which were written in 1927 by Dr. Ernest Holmes, who was the founder of this particular branch of New Thought, this philosophy that we call religious science, and I am grateful for this in my life. I am grateful for this philosophy in my life. It transformed me. It made me a better person because I decided to be a better person. The declaration that we're addressing today, it's like last week, it's another fairly long sentence. I will break it down because that was the request last week, but not too much. This one's much clearer. What he wrote is this: we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. Clear? Yeah, it's actually I will say it again. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. What he is saying here is our belief is that God is a principle and not a personality. God is not a man. God is an energy. God is a creative energy. It is a creative force, and it is receiving the direct impress of our thinking, of our thoughts, of our beliefs, and that is how our lives are unfolding, based on our thinking, not because some other thing out there has decided that we must live some certain way. No, it's all starting in our own mind. We are the point at which creation starts in our lives. Last week, I kept talking about it. What is it? I asked, what is it? Where does any of it come from? How do we know life is going our way? Ultimately, what I was talking about last week was our relationship to the creative power, how we interact with that creative power that we call God. And don't get hung up on the G word. A lot of people, I've had some feedback, he wrote God throughout these declarations of principles. And I've gotten some feedback, and it's like, Jonathan, you're hanging on too much to that G word. Don't get hung up on the G word. Just replace it when you need to replace it. If you need to replace it with love, great. If you need to replace it with spirit, great. If you need to replace it with creative energy, great. I use the G word, God, because it's easy. But there is no language suitable to describe the infinite creative resource of all things without inherently limiting it to an idea. It is so far beyond any one word. So we use shorthand to describe it. So I'll use the shorthand and call it God. Now, in 1927, when these declarations were written, it's interesting. The declaration, as it's written, still implies a separation, as though there is something separate from us. If you listen to it, we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God. Now, here's the separation, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind. Yeah. And that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought, see, ours versus its thought. Our thought is its thought, and acts upon it. It's as though we are saying we live in close contact with some other thing, but we're not part of it. That's what the languaging is kind of saying here. We have moved beyond that. So as we go through these declarations of principles, I will say we have moved beyond what he wrote in 1927. And you know what? We should have moved on in almost 100 years. Because the nature of life is evolution. It is forward momentum. It is never regression or even relying on anything that was ever thought in the past. We are always moving forward no matter what. We live in close contact with the indwelling God. No, God dwells within us. It is us living our life as us. We are living its life as it. There is no separation. I cannot stress this enough. There is no separation. There is no separation. You cannot be closer to God than to have it indwell. You cannot be closer to God than have it indwell. It lives within each and every one of us. It is totally 100% inseparable. It is who we are, not something we possess. Think about that. There are philosophies out there that allow you to possess something as though it is not part of you. We do not possess God, we are God, each and every one of us, at the level of our understanding and expression of it. So now we have evolved past this dualistic languaging to say we recognize no separation. We indwell God. We are the indwelling presence of God expressed as us. And basically what we've come to, and this is my whole take on this philosophy, I am an absolutist. I've said it before, I am an absolutist. You either are God or you're not. And if you're not God, you're saying there's something other than God, which goes against the entire philosophy. There is nothing other than God. Y'all okay with the G word? Okay, that wasn't a rousing okay. When you are an absolutist, when I preach being an absolutist, what this means for me personally is I can never be victim to circumstances. There is nothing outside of me that has any bearing on who I am unless I allow it. And how many of us are allowing the circumstances to take control of our thinking process? Think about that. I've done it. I still do it on occasion. I do it less and less the more and more I step into spiritual practice. There is no allowance for shirking personal responsibility when we are an absolutist, as I claim to be in this faith. There is no way, if you are an absolutist, to deny your magnificence. You can never deny your magnificence when you are an absolutist. I want every single person to repeat after me and say it with conviction. I am magnificent. I am magnificent. I am magnificent. You have just put on a new pair of shoes. Here's the question. Are you willing to keep them on? You have used spirit, which is you, for your benefit. Did you feel the palpable shift in energy for yourself, not even in the room, for yourself, by staking the claim, I am magnificent, by putting a stake into that claim, stating the claim and putting a stake in it. I'm just mixing up my metaphors. By stating, I am magnificent, you are claiming something unto the law of cause and effect. And as we know, the law takes the direct impress of our thinking and acts upon it. So when you say, I am magnificent, it cannot help but show up as your life in magnificence. We believe that the universal spirit operates through a universal mind, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind. It indwells within us. I'm adding on to it now. It indwells within us. We are surrounded by it. There is no separation from it. It receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it, and that's how we use this philosophy in a practical way. This philosophy for me means nothing unless it is utilized in a practical way to make lives better. It's not enough to stand up and say lovely words every Sunday. I am encouraging each and every one of us to use this philosophy, to get out there and change our lives for the better, because nobody's going to do it for you. We are each of us the point at which our lives are created, right? So create a great life. I'm really makes me think about Frank Richelieu, it's hard for me to say this because, well, it's not hard for me to say this. It's actually a physical truth. It's a physical fact. He is he's a much older minister. He was the minister at the Center for Spiritual Living in Redondo Beach back when it was the Redondo Beach Church of Religious Science before we changed the name. And he would stand up there and he would point and he would hit his lectern just to make his point. I'm starting to feel like that's where I'm getting to with these. Now, utilizing the creative principle in our lives is as simple as putting on a new pair of shoes. It is that simple. It is simple. Simple. But if you live with any amount of doubt, it is not easy. If you live with doubt, it's simple but not easy. And I have experienced this in my own life just this week. Just this week, I put on some old shoes. I put on the shoes that suggested the possibility of failure in an activity I'm engaged with. And I began to live in fear around the possibility of failure. Here's the issue with that. That doubt made my life not so easy. It's negative potential. It is the potential to step away from the perfect evolution of an idea and not allow it. That's what's happening when you live in doubt. Negative potential becomes negative possibility, which becomes negative thoughts, and that turns into a negative life experience. Now, what is a negative life experience for me may not be a negative life experience for somebody else. I just want to be clear that what I experience my reaction and relationship to it is my own. Somebody else may have the exact same experience and have a completely different idea of it. But my experiencing putting on those old shoes that made me think that there was a possibility for failure started to become my life experience. And so what I started to do is scramble. You ever do that? You scramble to try and get everything lined up to make it work. Oh my gosh, I got to do this. I got to make it work because everything's falling apart around me. We are surrounded by this creative mind. It receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. If that is my point of view, possible failure, I have to now scramble to make everything work. What is the impress of my thought? Everything is falling apart. It's not going to work out. Nothing's happening right. It's all failing. Oh my gosh, everything. The creative mind is acting upon this, and it is setting me up for continued failure, because that is the impress of my thought that I am placing upon this law of cause and effect. It does not care what I'm putting into it. The law doesn't care. The law is completely impersonal. This is one of the things that we get very clear on this in the practitioner studies class, and this week we had a lot of discussion around the impersonal nature of the law. And one of the things that we talk about is that the law reasons in such a way that there is never any doubt. It simply does. The law is the doer. And so it's always only showing up to the degree that you are impressing your thought upon it, and it will take whatever you impress upon it and make that the experience of your life. Does it get any clearer than that? So, these old shoes, had me walking around in doubt and fear and upset. And yes, that does happen. It does happen. Has anyone ever not walked around with fear or doubt or upset ever in their lives? It does happen. The great news is we are each and every one of us equipped at all times to take a look at those old shoes, pull them off, and throw them in the garbage. They are no longer required. They are not supporting you. It's so funny, I just thought, they are not supporting your soul. That literally came to me in the moment. I didn't even plan on that one. So I looked at those old shoes, I decided to take them off. And I did what I needed to do to ensure that by taking them off, I was stepping into a new frame of mind so that my life was now unfolding in positive ways. I had a discussion with a practitioner in my life. I said, I am looking to you to assist me through this because although I know it is simple, I am not having an easy time of it. And so what I am doing is I am coming to you to say, please hold me to the highest thought. Allow me to hear your understanding of this situation from the place of spiritual truth only, and I will be and allow myself to be receptive to that. And wouldn't you know it, the treatment of that particular practitioner transformed my life because I was open to it. Now, can I do this on my own? Absolutely. When I can't do it on my own, which is a decision, I go to a practitioner. And that's one of the main things I want to let everyone know today. If you are having trouble in your life, talk to a practitioner. They can get you so clear on the spiritual truth, your head will spin. But not like The Exorcist. They're just coming out of me today. Get thee to a practitioner, I say. So I decided to take those old shoes off. I got the help that I needed. Those old shoes represented ideas that no longer served me. Now, those ideas may have served me at one point. They may have motivated me in the direction of something that was for my highest good. That's a possibility. but they no longer serve me now. Doubt, fear no longer serve me. Now, if they did serve me in the past, I honor that. I honor the past. I honor what has been. But I remember that honoring the past does not mean that I am holding on to the past and assuming that has any relevance on my present moment or anything moving forward. Now, there are definitely times when it is time to put on new shoes. Allow yourself the honor of putting on new shoes when they are required. It's up to you. In one of my many incarnations in this life experience, I just imagine somebody's going to come up to me after service today and say, all the things that you say you've done, I'm starting to doubt it. When I was in university, I was a shoe salesman. I sold shoes at a large independent shoe retailer. Pierre knows this. We've talked about my being a shoe salesman. Oh, because your father used to make shoes. Oh, he sold shoes, not made them. Why did I think he... His studio is an old shoe factory. His father used to sell shoes. Anyway, that's... I'm going on tangent land. So I used to sell shoes when I was in university. And if I'm going to relate the whole metaphor today to that experience as a shoe salesman, this is what I want to say. This is the big lesson. Do not buy unless you try. There are going to be shoes, now let's be clear, there are going to be shoes you are clearly not attracted to. That's okay. Do not try on those shoes. If you are clear that you are not attracted to a particular pair of shoes, do not try them on. I am not saying force yourself to try something if you are not inherently attracted to it. If you know they will not work for you, trust that. But one of the things that salesmen are trained to do is to bring you alternatives. Here's the great news. The infinite salesman, actually I don't, well, yeah, just for the metaphor. The infinite salesman is the divine creative resource. It has infinite alternatives for you to try on. You have a choice. Try on multiple pairs of shoes. See which fits better. See which one fits the best. Do not, big lesson, do not assume that they are going to stretch later to fit. You might bring those shoes back, and commissioned salespeople hate that. Do not settle. Do not settle for something that you do not want. Remember, as the consumer, you are in charge of the sale. Salespeople will like to tell you that they're in charge of the sale. No. If the salesman, if the infinite salesperson, if the infinite sales idea is this divine creative power, what I've been saying here today is that as the consumers, we are the ones in charge. We do not have to buy anything that does not fit. You are always welcome to take an alternative. But be clear to yourself if you are settling for something less than your highest good. You are under no obligation to buy what they are selling. There are shoes out there that fit. There are shoes out there that fit. They are just your style. They are just your color. And when you put them on, it is like walking on air. Anyone have that experience? Actually, I'll tell you. So I was going to go buy new shoes yesterday. And just my day got away from me, and I ran out of time, so I decided against. At the last minute, it was about 7 o'clock. I'm like, I'm not going to go buy new shoes. These shoes have served me incredibly well, and they're just looking a little beat up now, so I'm ready for a new pair of shoes, right? But this particular brand I know fits my foot so well, and every time I go and I put the shoes on in a store, it's like walking on air. I love this particular brand of shoes, and I'm not here to do a commercial, so if you want to know what brand they are, I will tell you after. Love these shoes. When you put them on, it's like walking on air. And this is true. The same is true of everything in life. Everything in life. We have the opportunity to find everything in life and understand that it fits or it doesn't fit. Our job is to find what fits. What fits in your life can be and must be unique to you. It must fit you, otherwise it might bring you pain. In accepting that the universal creative mind receives the direct impress of our thoughts, each and every one of us will find ourselves in the cosmic shoe store with an infinite variety of styles, and a style you like will always come in your size. And here's the best news. There's an infinite return policy. Namaste. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering the center today in terms of a financial contribution. Hold it, recognize it, understand it for what it is. It is simply the energy, the creative energy, the energy of this divine creative power showing up as abundance, as prosperity, as something usable in your life. Today I choose to step up. Spiritual truth expressing prosperously. As I step up, as I am willing to give and allow myself to be willing to receive, I am engaged in the infinite circulation of life. And this translates itself in terms of health, creative expression, infinite wonderful relationships, and money. And so as you give today, trust and know that this gift is given from the heart. It is a gift of love, and it is not given out of obligation, but because you commit to an idea in your own life that is supported by this center. So as the baskets go around, what are we singing? Oh, we're singing a whole new song today. I'm so excited. The song we're singing today is actually one that I used to do back when I was in NoHo. We've never really done it here. No. But here's the thing to know. I'm going to invite full participation. And as the baskets go around, we may keep this going a little while just to embody this feeling of gratitude. So we're going to start off with the lyrics as they are written on the page. You don't have to look at the page. It's a call and response. So I will sing the lyric. You'll sing it back. I'll sing the lyric. You'll sing it back. It's very easy. And then I'm going to invite you to, well, you'll hear. Let's, give me a beat. Ready? Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
My magnificent, magnificent, magnificent friends.
Magnificent, magnificent, magnificent friends.
My magnificent, magnificent, magnificent friends.
Magnificent, magnificent, magnificent friends.
So the band is going to keep the beat going. I want anybody, just shout out something that you are grateful for in your life. Anyone. The sun. You're grateful for the sun. Here we go. Thank you for the sun, Spirit. Thank you for the sun.
Thank you for the sun, Spirit. Thank you for the sun.
Thank you for the sun, Spirit. Thank you for the sun.
Thank you for the sun,
warming sun.
The warming sun.
The warming, the warming, the warming sun.
The warming sun.
Give me something else. What is it? Laughter. Thank you for my laughter, Spirit. Thank you for my laughter.
Thank you for my laughter, Spirit. Thank you for my laughter.
Thank you for my laughter, Spirit. Thank you for my laughter.
Thank you for my laughter, Spirit. Thank you for my laughter.
My glorious, my glorious, my glorious laughter.
My glorious laughter.
My glorious, my glorious, my glorious laughter.
My glorious laughter.
Anyone else? Here we go. Thank you for my choices, Spirit. Thank you for my choices.
Thank you for my choices, Spirit. Thank you for my choices.
Thank you for my choices, Spirit. Thank you for my choices.
Thank you for my choices, Spirit. Thank you for my choices.
My infinite, my infinite, my infinite choices.
My infinite choices.
My infinite, my infinite, my infinite choices.
My infinite choices.
I said thank you. I said thank you. I said thank you. I said thank you. All right. You like that one? That's a fun one, isn't it? I'm going to invite Judy to do a blessing over our offering.
Recognizing the one presence that flows through all of life and our connection to all of life, I am very grateful for these gifts given with love, given with intention, with peace, with understanding, and allowing this center to grow and to expand. We are prosperous. We are beautiful. We are love. And the work we are doing serves all beautifully, magnificently. I am deeply grateful for the gifts of love today as they allow us to move forward in love and peace. I release these words to the law, knowing it is so, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Judy. How are y'all feeling? It's living life out loud. We're living it out loud today for sure. I want to say thank you to everyone for being here today. I want to say thank you for everyone who's watching us online. Also, as a reminder, if you'd like to make your financial contribution in support of this center, you can do so by clicking the donate button there. So I'm going to invite everyone to relax, release, let go of anything that has preceded this moment and simply resonate with the infinite presence in the present. Relax, release, and simply allow. The greatness of this divine creative energy is flowing through you. It is you. It is indwelled within you. It is surrounding you. It is who and what each and every one of us is, and this is the truth. And I recognize this truth always. I recognize this truth when I'm living out loud, and I recognize this truth when I am being still. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
And so, in this awareness, I allow myself to begin with gratitude. And deep recognition and gratitude for everyone who has come together today to make this experience the magnificent experience it was, it is, and it shall continue to be. I am grateful to Jim and Margaret Ann, our board members on duty. I'm grateful to our greeters, Susan and Judy. I'm grateful to Lori for setting up. I'm grateful for Dane on the sound. I'm grateful for Ram on our webcast. I'm grateful for Margaret Ann and her beautiful meditation today. I'm grateful for the infinite wisdom of Judy Southern. I am grateful. I'm grateful for Pierre Gautreau, the entire Queen Street Band. I am grateful. And it is in gratitude that I recognize and know that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite resource, and this resource is operating through us, as us, at all times. And so I call upon it to show up perfectly, easily, effortlessly, and gracefully in our lives as continued forward momentum in all things. I trust that each and every one of us, recognizing that we are in that infinite choice, we know the right choice to make. We know what shoes to put on. We know, for that knowledge comes from the one infinite resource through us, as us. And so in this gratitude, I simply allow it to be. I release this word knowing it is complete, for my thought is a direct impress onto the law of creative mind, and I know it is so, as together we say, and so it is. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. So we take this stillness, this recognition, we indwell it with love, and we end today living out loud by putting a little love into our hearts. You ready?
Ready.
Have a great week, everyone.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love
awesome week.